Hello again. Today we're going to tie this laser dubbing baitfish. These I'm tying up for bass in the sea. I've also used these for perch in fresh water as well. Anything that eats sort of small baitfish will eat these. They're not many materials at all involved, just laser dubbing in this colour is grey and white. I also mix some orange and red, just sort of mix it up to make this colour, just to give it the sort of gills, if you know what I mean. I always like to have a little bit of orange or red in my baitfish, any kind of predator flies actually. So I'll explain everything as I go along like I normally do, and we will get on and tie this one. So let's just take this one out of the vise. Oh, just drop it out of the vise. In the vise, this is a mustard hook. It's a size 2 and it's a O'Shaughnessy sort of style hook. And I'm going to start by putting a little bit of super glue onto the shank. And this is just, I'm going to put a little bit of lead, a little bit of lead wire on this, just to help stabilise the fly in the water and to help it sink a little bit faster. Like I said, I'm going to use these in the sea, but not much lead. About 14 turns, and this is Vineyard's large lead. I think it's 0.6 millimetre. So it's about 14 turns, like that. Once that's on there, and the reason I just put the super glue on is to stop that lead from turning. The worst thing you can have a fly doing is twisting on the shank. It's the sign of a fly that's not tied very well. Thread is a UTC Ultra in 140 and it's white, and you can see I'll put a little bit more glue on that, and I'm just going to start the thread just in front of the lead. I'm going to come over the lead and then work my way to the back until I'm sort of in between the point and the barb of the hook. I'm going to wax the thread, and I'm going to put on some white buck towel, and I'm going to choose from the top of the buck towel where it's fairly soft. Not too much at all, just a little tiny bit. So I'm just going to take some of the white buck towel, and I'm just going to pull out all the short bits. I've got a little bit like this, and I want this to be about a hook length actually going back. So yeah, about a shank length. And I'm going to take that, catch it, and try and roll it around the hook shank, sort of 180. A couple of turns, just to hold it like that. Just grab the other rest of the bunch, trimming it up to the back of that lead. So when I tighten down on this, it kind of helps it remain level. And then I'm going to add a little bit of, this is like a lovely blue grey colour. Again, taking it from the top, excuse me, and about the same amount as we took of the white. They don't take too long to tie these. You can fill a box up to use out on the coast very quickly. So I'm going to take that, and again I'm going to have it a little bit, the same length as the white. So I'm just going to measure that up, and again I'm going to catch that. This I'm going to try and hold to keep on the very top, just like that. That's lovely. Tighten it up to the back of the lead, trim like that. Lovely. Now I'm going to add some flash. Have a look at that. Yep, that's fine. Now I'm going to add some flash, and now I've just got some. This is just a nice thin pearl Flashabou, and I'm going to take 3 strands. Take 3 strands, and I'm going to come, and I'm going to pop just sort of not directly on the top, but not right on the side, sort of 3/4 of the way round the shank, if you know what I mean, and catch that in. And I'm going to trim that a little tiny bit longer than the actual bucktail, and then I'm going to take some, this is like it's like a lateral scale, and again I'm going to take three strands of this. I can get 3 strands out. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, come here. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to take 3 strands of that, and I'm going to match them up. Cut them off like that. And we're going to tie it in exactly the same as how we tied the other Flashabou in. So I'm just going to come round the thread, and this I'm going to sit pretty much right on top. Catch it? But I'm never too fussy with these flies. They're meant to be quick to tie for a reason. You can fill your box up quick. You can just get out fishing with them. You know, all the flies I tend to tie, I don't tie them for the front cover of a magazine or anything like that. I tie them for fishing, and I tie them for catching fish. And sometimes I think, oh, a bit of flash will beat me out there. Sometimes I think you can get too wrapped up in trying to make them absolutely perfect. I mean, tie the best you can, obviously. And if it looks completely awful, you're never going to choose it. So be fussy to an extent. But some flies, you just get on and tie them and fish them. So there we have that. Now I'm going to add some wax to the thread, and I'm going to take some grey laser dubbing. Just going to take a bit out the packet, and all I'm doing is pulling it and restacking it, not trying to snap any of these fibres, but pulling it and restacking it, and that will orient all the fibres in the same direction. Okay, I'm just going to sit this on top, and I'm going to come over 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look. Make sure she's bang on the top, like that. That's lovely. There we go. And now I'm going to do the same thing with some white on the underside. So I'm going to take a little bit less for the underside. And again, I'm just pulling and restacking, just so all the fibres are going in the same direction. They're not tangled or anything like that. Put the fly upside down. Come here. There we go. And then come round with the thread, keeping it on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. It's lovely. Now I'm going to pull the grey up and the white down. I'm going to bring my thread up, sweep with my fingers to get the white behind, and I'm just going to do a couple of turns in front. And now I'm going to take a dubbing needle, and I'm just going to help this white to go either side of the bend of the hook. Okay, and sometimes it can be tricky. There we go, just like that. Smooth it all back. Okay, just roll it. Any loose bits, just take out. Just roll it, roll it, roll it. There we go. And now I'm going to take some dubbing. This is like an angel hair. It's quite a soft one. It's quite nice. Okay, and I'm just going to dub this onto the thread. Just twist it on, like like with all dubbing. Don't try and add too much in one go. It just doesn't work. You don't want too much of this either. Just enough to cover it. So it's a nice thin ish body. Just twist it onto the thread like that. Slide it up. Come around with a turn and then tighten. And we're just going to run this up. Tightening if we need to tighten. Just like that. And there we go. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit more. And then we're going to brush this out a bit. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. And back if you need to. There we go. Drop the thread in front and then come in with, this is just like a copper pipe cleaner. I'm just going to rux this up. Oh, mind your tail. We'll rux it up all the way around. There we go. And then just smooth this all back. There we go. Bring your thread right up to the eye and back again, just so I've got a lovely, thread base for the next bit. And now, if you remember, I said I mixed red and orange, the laser dub together, just by laying them onto top of each other, the different colours, and pulling it apart, just like I'm doing, and restacking, pulling and restacking. And now I don't want this to be too long, so I'm just going to shorten this. It's easy to snap this stuff, so just pull it. You snap it and then lay that onto the bottom with one. Nice and tight. There we go. And then I'm going to take some more grey. We're going to have a little bit more grey than we did of the red and the orange mixture, just so it's top heavy with materials. The fly will orient itself a lot better that way. And then once you've aligned all the fibres, we will simply pop it on. And as you can see, the grey is longer than this red and orange mixture, which is exactly what I want. Come around with 1, 2, 3 turns. Have a look, make sure the grey is bang on the top and the red is bang on the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is to put a tiny little bit of super glue onto the thread. I do this a lot with predator flies, just because the fish hit them with real bad intentions. A little bit of super glue, just on the thread, not loads, just you only need a little bit. Come round, like that, and then just give that a second to just dry. Doesn't take long. And then lifting the grey up, bring the thread up, bring the red and orange mixture around, bring the thread in front, smooth everything back, just like that. And then I'm going to wind forward a little bit. Bit of wax on the thread. I'm going to take some white. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. I seem to have had the same sort of real chesty cold for about 2 weeks now. It's finally beginning to shift actually, but it's a real pain. So again, with the white, just going to align the fibres. I've got a little bit too much there. Just going to align the fibres. And then exactly the same as we did with the previous. We're going to sit this on the bottom, and then we're going to be sitting some grey on the top. This on the bottom, come around one. Oh, hello. Didn't do that very well, did I? If you find it slipping, just make sure there's wax on the thread. I'm going to bring that thread back, that's better. Okay, sit it there, come around, catch it on, 1, 2, 3, nice and tight, and then some more grey, there we go. Oh, put that in the wrong packet then, and just pull it apart. Gently, I'm really gently pulling it apart because I don't want to break these fibres. I want the full length of this. And when you've got them all oriented the right direction, we're going to sit it on the top, come around, catch it, 1, 2, 3 or 4 turns. And again, what I'm going to do is a little bit of super glue onto the thread. Again, we're not drowning the thread in super glue here, it's just a little tiny piece. Come around, lift the grey up, bring the thread up, pull the white underneath so I can drop the thread in front. A few turns. And just have a look. Well, that's lovely. That's lovely. Now I'm going to just come through with a dubbing needle here, and I'm going to get rid of any loose fibres, of which there will be plenty, like that. I know it all looks a mess and it all looks a bit weird, but it'll all come good, don't worry. Excuse me. Right, now we're going to sweep this back with my fingers. Just mind the hook point when you do this. It's very easy to jab yourself with the hook. I've done it so many times. I'm that much of an oaf. Just smooth it all back. Get a comb. Brush it, and then we're going to get a dog brush in a minute, and we're going to get that dog brush, where have I put it, there it is, and we're just going to brush it all, and we're kind of like blending it together. Brush it, blend it, brush it, blend it, brush it, blend it. There we go, just like that. Have a look, that's lovely. And then we're going to just neaten the end up like this, and that's basically the tying done. Okay, there we go. And now a bit more super glue on the thread, and we shall whip finish. Easiest way I've found always to do this is just to put some super glue on the thread, come in and whip finish, tighten, break the thread off, and there we have it. Just roll this in your fingers and you can sort of see the shape. You can sort of see the shape you're getting. It's a lovely teardropped fish shaped. I mean, these, like I said, they don't take long to tie at all, and they just fish. They fish really well, actually. Again, excuse me. And now we're just going to pop some eyes on. When it comes to eyes and predator flies, oh, that rhymed. When it comes to eyes and predator flies, Do I think they make a difference in the way the fly will fish, as in how many fish it will catch? Be honest with you, I don't. But they transform the fly, and the fly looks so much better with eyes, I personally feel. So I always like to put eyes on my predator flies. I feel like it adds character, as mad as it seems. It just, you know, being nearly all synthetic, these shed water very, very easily, and they cast very easily because of that. So I'm just going to take the same sort of super glue, and you can see I've put the eyes on my hand, and I'm going to take one eye, pop it onto my dubbing needle, and I'm just putting the smallest amount of super glue on the eye. I'll do your side first. Pop it on, and as you can see, it completely transforms the look of the fly. And again, the other side, just the tiniest bit of super glue, not much. You don't need much. Super glue goes a long way, really, doesn't it? And again, pop it on. And I've really found the easiest way to do this is with the needle. Pop that eye on. Just give it a little bit of a squeeze. There we go. And now I'm just going to add some UV resin. Okay. Just going to wet my finger here. There we go. So, going to get your UV resin. Excuse me for keep clearing my throat. Like I said, I am just getting over this cold and it's just lingering. Horrible, really. So, I've got a little bit of, this is Golf Flexman. It's my favourite resin, this Flexman, especially for heads. I found it lasts a lot longer. Just try and get any fluff off your fingers. Just going to put a tiny bit in between the eyes. Like that. Get your torch, set that. Come underneath, do the same thing. Don't need much, not for the beginning. Not to start with, just a little bit. And this all helps to keep those eyes on as well. Okay. There we go. Just get it where you want it. There we go, just set that. Oh, come on. And now, like I said, I'm not too fussy with these. These get hammered, by the way, these flies. So, now I'm going to put a bit over the top. I'm going to come over the eye. I'm going to come round the bottom. And I'm going to go all the way around, just like this, with this resin. And I'm going to keep turning. Just going to keep turning this, just getting the resin exactly where I want it. Keep turning it until you've got the resin everywhere you want the resin, and then set it. Oh, come on, foot pedals playing up. This light works on a foot pedal underneath my desk, and I think sometimes I just don't press it properly, to be honest with you. So once that's set, just have a look. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit more on top of the head here, just like that. I'm just going to move this with a needle to exactly where I want it. And there we have it. There we have it. And that is my little predator dubbing bait fish. If you fish for perch or fish for bass in the sea, these are killer, absolutely killer. And They've got more action than you think, to be honest with you. And, well, I know for certain the bass absolutely love them. And there you have it. Not very difficult to tie, doesn't take too long to tie, good fun to tie, and they just work. It's as simple as that. You know, and you could put stripes on it with an indelible pen. You could put dots on it to make it into a sort of shad or something like that. I just tend to leave them exactly as they are. And I mostly fish them in this grey and white colour. But so, you know, and there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that one. If you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button. It does help. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, then please do so. Again, it does help the channel to grow. I don't get time to sit down and do these videos as much as I really like, but I do them as often as I can, because I like doing the videos as much as I hope you enjoy watching them. Well, there you go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.